It is same hoodie day. Yeah. Woke up, same thing as always. The clothes that I was wearing yesterday, side of the bed, get out of bed, actually still sitting on the bed, put on yesterday's hoodie. Unrepentant. I love it. It's like my favorite thing to do. Just wake up. Whatever. Fuck it. New underwear for sure. But I'm of the opinion that the hoodie is not actually dirty. You know, I wear a shirt underneath it. And it's not like I'm going to go out and start running mile repeats in it. You know? By the way, I miss that. I miss the exhaustion. I know it sounds weird. But until the knee went out, I used to love having like the occasional real big lung burner workout, which I cannot do anymore while running. I would have to do it like, I don't know, on one of those Pelotons or in the pool when I'm like, I don't know, maybe one day I'll just take my leisurely walk through the neighborhood. Everybody seems to agree hoodies are good for at least a week. Jeans, same thing, which is weird because, you know, the jeans around your butthole, for God's sake. You would think that, but no, I agree with you. Of course, you have underwear on. Who knew that I would start the show breaking down how to wear clothes? It's embarrassing. But all right. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures, if you haven't already figured that out. That seems to be a question I get a lot. So what do you do? What goes on there? Yeah. The same thing I always did. Gives me someone to talk to, even though it's just a camera, for God's sake. The key to sanity is the chat. Okay? Now, chat is a double-edged sword. It provides a lot of content. Occasionally, though, it gets wonky, and then I have to... hold on. Then I got to flash the yellow, which looks more like lime green. I got to flash the lime green or the red, which looks more like orange. The chat actually caused a massive, I shouldn't say it caused it. It was part of the problem with the former Zaniacs. The one in particular was that weirdo Adam and his styrofoam teeth. No matter what I said, he would grab lyrics from a song and put them up for no apparent reason. I was like, do you think maybe we could limit that? I'm actually trying to interact with people. And my God, just asking that was the end of the world for that thin-skinned twat. God damn it. Maureen is here. She says, well, easy. If you aren't shitting your pants, it's okay. And I'm not. And I am not. Ben Weller says, when you enter the chat, welcome to the jungle. Behind me, Darla and Bruce. Sister and brother from different mothers. Amanda says Darla looks huge. She's really not. I'm starting to think that even though she didn't look like a runt when we got her, I mean, she is the smallest English bulldog we have ever had. Okay? She is not that much bigger than Bruce, who's a Frenchie, supposed to be smaller than her. She's a little shit. And today, man, talk about a day where it was pretty much a guaranteed thing that Darla decided she was going to take a dump in the house. Now, she didn't. I don't know how I got her to do this, but okay. When you open up the back door, she in particular is like, no, I don't do rain, let alone cold rain. But all right, I'll go outside and pee. She goes outside and pees and comes right back in. I go, this is not good. That means she made a decision, okay? I am going to crap in the house. I am going to do that. And then she likes to eat it because she's horrible. It's unbelievable. What? How can that even be a thing? She comes in. I go, oh boy, we got to revisit this. I give her breakfast, and I bring her up here, and she's just snooping around. I could tell. As soon as they see how right now that how she's like content, she knows that we're talking about her too. Hi, Darla. Darla. She stops. Hey. Side eye. Love the side eye. That's when you know you're in a good spot. When she's just sitting there enjoying the morning, chewing on something, laying next to her brother. It was not like that when I came in here not that long ago. She was doing laps, picking out the best spot to lay a loaf. I was like, oh, boy. So, brought her downstairs, opened the door. Won't go. She's not going outside. Bring her back upstairs. Same thing. She's sniffing around. I go, all right, that's it. Miraculously, it stopped raining, and she knows that. I bring her outside. Hallelujah. She does it right back inside. I go, thank God. Oh. Shot a video of her yesterday that Kenny said he loved. It's worth mentioning and visiting and checking that out right now. I forgot all about it. Thank you for reminding me. Man who has a image on Patreon of him ripped when he's a kid, fit and trim. God, Kenny. I bet you pulled so much tail. Holy cow. Chewy's Purse writes, my dog had diarrhea downstairs this morning. Not a great way to start the day. Oh, I feel for you. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, here she is.
Counterfeiting everything from.
It says the side eye looking for attention. I mean, she's acting like, she's being neglected or she's starving.
Checks to digital coupons and bottle return slips.
Targeting investigator Susan Samples reports that investigators
sitting on mom's lap while she's watching the news.
Say Angel hired people to cash in the fake.
Failure to motivate us. It's something that I know that'll motivate me. The only direction is
Oh, she's so abused, right, guys? Oh, look at that. Joe Moran says, pet her, please. Where you been, Joe Moran? This dog is so dramatic. I'm telling you. All right, I can't take anymore. I cannot take anymore. Chris writes, she's such a baby, a giant baby. Oh, absolutely. Quote, how dare you rest your hand there and not use it to pet me? This dog is such a character. I'm telling you. Florida man with an uppercut from the back of the room says, sounds like Amanda using one of her dildos. You know, that's horrible. First of all, how would you know that? You haven't been blessed with hearing Amanda and when she's using one of her dildos, as far as I know. Okay, why are you taking a run at Amanda, who says, I'm actually pretty quiet? Okay, we don't need that. We don't need any comment. If anyone's going to talk about masturbating, it's going to be me. All right. So that's how it's going to be today, I guess. Okay. Enough. Settle down, everyone. Okay. My pal Doug over at Bosco's Pub is known for a bar trick, which I just found out about. What he does is there's a guy at the bar, let's say, and he's talking to him, could be anybody. Guy at the bar is looking up at the TVs that are above the bar, and let's say watching the Chiefs and the Eagles. Doug is also behind the bar, but facing the barfly. Behind the barfly is another TV with the same game. But the one that's behind the barfly is like 10 seconds ahead of the one that's behind the bar. So Doug sees what happens in the play, and then 10 seconds later, it happens on the TV that's actually behind the bar that the barfly is looking at. So Doug will be standing there, and he'll say, I bet number 10 gets it. And then the guy's just sitting there watching, and then number 10 gets it. And then Doug will say, oh, I bet you it's going to be a screen pass. And then it'll be a screen pass. At this point, barfly is like, wait, how you knowing that? He goes, I know football. And then he'll say something like, oh, fake punt right here. And then it's a fake punt. So he does that, and he'll start to bet. He'll start to, like, gamble. You know, he'll, like, say something really, really far out. Like, if it's a crazy-ass play, it's going to be a touchdown, a flea flicker, and number 16 is going to catch it in the end zone. And he'll do that, and the guy says, all right, I'll bet you $20. And then Doug will put down, and then Doug will win the bet. I found this out because it happened to me. Yeah. We're at the bar, and he does that same setup. I was like sitting down, facing the bar, having a drink of water in between. It was very slow. The Eagles and the Chiefs are on, and he starts that shit. And I have no idea of that this is like a thing. I just doesn't occur to me. Now, the people next to me are also amazed. The chicks who are working behind the bar are aware of it, and they're keeping their mouths shut. And they're like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? So I said, all right. And then I started to record. And this actually happened. So this is before I realized what was going on. And I don't know if it's on this footage, but after this, the chick who's working who's one of the, her name's Brittany. She says, yeah, he's watching it. We're watching it delayed. You're watching it delayed. He's watching it 10 seconds ahead of you. And she like broke the news to me. But this is my reaction. Okay, so Doug keeps predicting the play somehow. The replay. And you tell me you can just take a look. Okay, this isn't the play there. They're just measuring. He's gotten every play right.
Offsides, next down.
He just said offsides next down.
Because now they're all spun.
What? What did you say?
Eagles are going offsides. They're going to jump on the right side.
If you get this, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket right now.
They just got a first down.
Okay, this is the replay still. What the hell? What the hell? What? Hold on. Look at Doug's poker face. You got a phone or something there? Someone.
See, he must be watching that TV.
Oh, someone tipped me off. Yes, he must be watching that TV. God damn it. What an asshole. Oh, God. So much fun. It was a good time over there. And I guess in that game, the Chiefs had a chance to win late. And Mahomes aired it out. And some dude dropped it. Oh, my God. And that's it. Fucking A. Eagles win. Eagles 9-1. Chiefs are 7-3. I kind of wanted the Chiefs to win because that would have the Lions would have a better shot at if the Lions keep winning of winning the conference to have home field throughout the playoffs. But goddamn, the Eagles are tough. I don't know. I think ultimately it's going to be a rematch. I mean, I want the Lions to be there, but in my heart of hearts, the Lions just don't have it, at least right now, all together, of getting to the Super Bowl. I still think that it will be the Chiefs taking on the Eagles. Okay? So I don't know. I'm just I mean, I love, like I said, I love the Lions. They've had some great moments this year, but to me there's just a few loose ends that they just don't have the right thing to actually win. Amanda says, when are you back at Bosco's? I'm not sure. This is, I think next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, actually. I take it back. I think I am sure. Next Tuesday, I should be there. And if you go, you're only allowed to have a salad. Jack_Ken_Knopf. Maybe a new person here. It says Eric, and then hello. Welcome. Yeah, Amanda, I thought we had a goal of saving our life. Weren't you in the process of saving your life? You know what you should do, Amanda? I just started with a new sponsor called Factor. You know those Factor meals? Those things are awesome. Amanda says, I'm not allowed a cheat night. Every day's a cheat night for you. Don't get me started. I know what's going on. Don't act like you've been good. Anyway, you should, those Factor meals, I wasn't, until they sent them to me and I tried them, I wasn't aware of how great they are. It's the same as like when, like on a Sunday where I used to prep all those meals. So, and then it takes forever to prep a meal. And it's always like, I have the same food in every little prep container. Factor is great because it's all different food and it's not a ton of calories and it's all good and nothing's frozen and it's made by chefs and then they just package it for you and send it to you. I was really impressed with the quality of the food. And they're actually a sponsor right now on the audio podcast. You don't hear about them when I'm actually live streaming, but their ads that I recorded popped up, and when you're listening to the audio podcast, and I asked, offhand how many calories? 550 to 600, and typically you'll have like a smaller cut of pork chop with like sautéed mushrooms and then green beans or something like that. Really effective. If you want to actually lose weight, you're eating really good food and prepared fresh. I love it. Amanda says, but the meals I get are $5 each and they're 220 calories. Yeah, but it's those shit frozen ones you throw like that are loaded with sodium and sawdust and jizz. Okay? Factor meals are so much better for you and better tasting than the garbage you eat. Amanda's idea of dieting is busting out, headed over to like the gas station and getting some goddamn Jack Links. Oh, yeah, it's diet food. All right. So glad you are here. A lot going on today. I do have some news. I talked about this on Patreon yesterday. My dad has COVID. After the free podcast, the word came down. So, here we go. Phone call later in the day, talking to my beloved mother-in-law, Joanne, who indicated, and she's walking around the house, she's exposed, wearing a mask. Dad felt like garbage the day before, and then they, tested him and he got COVID. So, okay. A lot of elderly people have had COVID and been just fine. Some have not. There's no question that that's a concern. Passing the fear off to God. That's what they say. Hey, you got to take your fear and anxiety and just give it to God. He'll take it. So that's where I'm at. I'm in this religious mode now. I mean, that's all you can do, honestly. Pray and hope. So keep him in your thoughts. And if you're like Kyle Ryan and you don't believe my Jesus stuff, just think good gay thoughts. That's all you have to do. Think gay. And then everything will be fine. We hope. Cannot control it. So we'll miss him on Thanksgiving. But all right. One of those things. It's up in the air. I don't know if we're gonna have him on tomorrow. For Dear Meathead. I don't know. We'll find out, see how he's feeling. Let's see. Maureen says maybe Amanda likes the taste of jizz. What the fuck? This is the women on my show talking. Maureen says no, she doesn't. What a time we live in when the ladies amongst them are talking about the flavor of jizz. God damn. All right. Suicide averted in my neck of the woods. This is incredible. Body cameras, in addition to getting to exactly how stories go down when cops are out in the field, also lead to remarkable footage. So not far from where I live, some guy was on the overpass, and he's going to throw himself off of it and plummet down to the interstate freeway below, causing his death. There's county sheriffs there and state cops there, and they're trying to talk this guy down. And then, well, I'm just going to let this story play out. This is incredible.
And contemplating suicide is alive tonight, thanks to the compassion.
It's always low volume
thinking
on these.
Two police officers.
I don't know why that is.
Police body camera video shows the events unfolding on a highway overpass November 11th in Byron Township. News 8's David Horak has the story for us tonight.
I care for you.
Okay, so on the side of the screen, that's the statey and the county cop. And the chick talking is a county cop. And this guy is dangling over the edge, seated on top of that concrete.
feel like you.
At the M6 overpass above US 131, Kent County Sheriff.
That's what you say when someone's getting ready to throw themselves off. You got to tell them that you care about them, even if you don't.
Sheriff Sergeant Tanya Walkins was pleading with the despondent man on the other side of the ledge.
I have a son, a little bit older than him, but I just kept telling him that he is loved and he is cared for, and just kept trying to get him to look at me and direct him to look up, because he just kept looking at his phones.
If I go to the other side of him there, I think we can get him.
State Police Trooper Eric Brogger also noticed that time was not on their side while reading the man's body language.
He was using his arms and kind of almost testing the friction underneath on the seat there to see how much it was going to take to go over. And that's when,
How about that jawline, ladies? What do you think of that silver fox?
when we made the decision that we had to act.
At one point, I thought he was going to go
How about that jawline, guys?
because he started lifting himself, and I just started talking louder and louder to distract him.
Please look at my face. Please look at my face.
It was a tough and
Look at that. They just snatched him.
risky move, Brogger says, that ended up saving the man's life
So she's telling, they're like waiting for him to turn, and she's trying to get his focus, and then they come up behind him and snatch him.
and possibly others.
If he
Now, if he were black, they would have just kicked him in the back, and he'd have been tumbling down and getting run over like fucking Nordberg.
tried to go forward over that edge while we were holding on to him, that he could take us with him.
We are here to help you, brother. It is going to be fine. Okay?
Oh, breaks my heart. Oh no.
There are better days, my friend.
Walkins tells us the man is getting the help he needs after getting another chance at life.
At that moment in time, he was at the lowest he's probably ever felt. And at some point in somebody's life, they get there. So, telling him that he's cared for.
Now, we couldn't see his face, but it wouldn't surprise me if he had like a Bluetooth thing in his ear and was talking about how he likes to jack off horses.
I hope that he's better today and knows that he's loved.
It didn't matter who the person was up there. Everybody just knew it was a person up there, and they needed help, and that's what happened.
It's a reminder to anyone who is struggling that they are not alone and they are loved. If you or someone you know is going through hard times, call 988. We're in Byron Township. David Horak.
So this guy, I'm sure, is
News 8.
is loved, but
I've always had dreams.
What if like you're a child molester or something like that? And everybody just found out that you're a child molester. That person probably isn't loved. Florida Man 814 says if it was Creepy Dean, he should have been pushed off. In all seriousness, though, amazing work by this crew of officers. Good to see a good story once in a while. If you're going through hard times, Kenny writes, go sit on a bridge and wait for us to throw you to the ground and handcuff you against your will. Tyler says, quote, he's quoting the female officer, I'll suck your dick if you get down. Guarantee that would work every time, you asshole. What the fuck, dude? I'll suck your dick if you get down? Oh, my God. I even forgot the jokes I had. I had several jokes in my brain, and they're all muddied up now. They're gone. You did it to me, you asshole. Oh, there you go. That's what I was going to talk about, though. It wasn't a joke. Dan says, bridges are not high enough. You need a building or a parking deck. Yeah, I don't think we want to go and say, I was thinking the same thing, that the bridge could very well not kill you. But I don't know if it's a great idea to start saying, no, if you want to do it right, you got to do it this way. It was a horrible scenario. I'll never forget this. This is a pulling back the curtain radio story. It involves a suicide. So I'm just going to get out in front of this. It involves a dead person. Where GRD is, it's across the street from a parking deck, which is, I don't know, 5-6 stories. Enough to kill you because this guy died. But this was so surreal because we're doing the show, and then somehow word escapes that there's a guy laying on the pavement. If you look out the window. But we couldn't see him from our studio. We had to go into I think the radio station is 100.5 The River. And this really nice, sweet old man named Andy Rent is on the air. And he's still on the air to this day. I think he's in his 80s. And he plays like, soft rock hits and Christmas music and tells you where the, he's not really doing anything groundbreaking. It's elderly people are listening to this radio station. And Andy's in there all shook up because he's doing the show and his, where he talks, it faces the window. So he's like looking at this dead guy on the concrete. It was right around the holidays. And graphically, this is horrible. The blood is like spreading on the concrete. And I'm standing there next to Joe, and we go out there, and not out there, we're looking down as the police are arriving. And as they're arriving, we look down, and this fucking Elvis Christmas song is playing. I think it's like Blue Christmas. Blue. It's like the soundtrack for this suicide. And we're looking down and we're like, oh my God, fucking shit. And Joe's all fucked up. It was horrible. There's a good Joe joke in there somewhere. But I figured I should leave that alone. Tyler says, can you imagine if he was playing Fly Like an Eagle when the dude jumped? Yeah, probably not the best. Florida Man 814 says, if you weren't telling the story, I would think you were making it up. No, unfortunately. And that young man did not survive. That wasn't the first time that somebody died out the window of the radio station. There was another young man who, so this was actually outside of the GRD studios. We had a guy who worked at the radio station named Spud, and he was on in like the afternoon. And Spud was on the air, and there was a window cleaner at the art museum across the street, and something went wrong, and he went down, and he died. And Spud saw it. I mean, like, actually saw him in the air for the few seconds, or the second and a half it took for him to, he saw that. And there's audio of him on the air. You won't believe what I just saw. I mean, it was like the guy who announced the Hindenburg. It was horrible. And right now, if you were downtown Grand Rapids by the Grand Rapids Art Museum, on the east wall of that building, okay, if you're good with directions, the east wall of that building, across the street from what the fuck is that pizza place? Doesn't matter. There's a plaque on the ground commemorating that remembering him. Right where, Big O's, that's it, Big O's. Right across the street from there. It's fucking horrible. There was also one more. I swear to God, this is the last one. At iHeart, they're in that big-ass building downtown. And this actually happened. I wasn't working there at the time, but someone was on the air, and then actually in their line of sight, like, the body just went right in front of the window. A fucking idiot made it up there and took a header, who I think lived. Tyler says, I don't know how those window cleaners can do that job. They should make $1 million a year. Various comments on Big O's. I love Big O's. Big O's is fantastic. It's been way too long since I've been there. But glad that dude's okay. But goddamn, talk about a rock bottom moment. All right. Thank you to those who are watching the show on Facebook. And also watching it on X and YouTube. I'm going to say goodbye to you, though. Thank you so much. Don't forget about my Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Kind of a weird week for Patreon this week. You'll get I'll get the bonus podcast to you every day, Monday through Friday, the Lost Zane recording, Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia, the Insane Asylum. But next week is when we'll be back for the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. And who are these free beers? We still owe you an episode of Who Are These Free Beers. Things got a little wonky for Ben last week with his dad getting sick. And now my dad getting sick. Holy cow. But his dad is okay. So we'll get back after it next week with those shows. But thank you so much for checking out the show on Facebook, X, and Twitter. And if you want the show in its entirety, because it's not done, I've got another hour and 20 minutes left to do of today's show, November 21, Tuesday. It's on Twitch. So download the Twitch app, search Eric Zane Live, and then there I am. Follow the page, subscribe to the page. It's all there for you. Very simple. And or if you're on your desktop or laptop, go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Thank you, though, for watching on Facebook, X, and YouTube.